Yes team, how are we all doing? So I'm back with the second part of the glitch percussion video. So today we're going to have a look at how to affect the glitch percussion that we made in the previous video. So stock Ableton effects are definitely overlooked for this. You know, a lot of people are reaching out for Tantra, Glitch 2, Effectrix, whatever, all very good plugins, but combining some of the stock stuff is actually better than some of the stuff you can purchase. So if we went back to one of the loops that we had, so let's use the slice one, for example, and we could go and add shifter on it. So shifter will shift the pitch and so you have the fine where you can detune stuff, you have your LFO settings down here, and then you have different modes as well. So you've got a pitch mode, you have a frequency mode, and you have a ring mode too as well, which is probably the most wild one out of all of them. It has a built-in delay as well, which can be really fun to play around with. And just like we've been doing throughout this video, you could resample that down to audio again, manipulate, slice, and keep on going around in that resampling cycle. We've also got phaser flanger, which is stock Ableton. This will just help add a bit of subtle movement to it. The doubler can be quite cool sometimes, but a bit intense. So pretty cool one to play around with. Delay, we can get a very similar effect to what we were just doing with the doubler. So we could turn the sync off and then just play around with the time. So some crazy effects going on there. So you can imagine if I had a resample channel running then, I could have bounced that all down to audio and then I could have cut those bits out and had my own unique individual glitch sounds, which no one else would have had. And like I said earlier, it means I haven't had to synthesize these from scratch either. Other stock effects, we've got beat repeat. Beat repeat is legendary in my opinion. It is basically what it says on the tin. It repeats a beat. You just set it up the intervals to where you want it to. So obviously the quicker the intervals, the more frequent it will happen. So let's go 1 bar. Offset, this is just where that repeat is going to happen within the bar. So I could put it around about there. The grid is how it's going to repeat that beat. So if it's 16th, it's going to be quite in time. If I start bumping this up to like 32 or 48, it's going to be very quick and it's going to give it that super glitched feeling. The chance, how likely it's going to happen. Gate is effectively how long the stutter will be. So if I shorten this, you'll see that this gets shorter. You can change the pitch, but it often sounds pretty weird, so I don't typically recommend doing that. And variation, which is just means you get a different variation every single time. And then you can start chaining these together. So some pretty mad effects there. And then lastly, we've got grain delay. So grain delay is a delay, and then it's got a spray feature on it, so you kind of get these modulated sprays on it. But once you get something cool like that, you could bounce that down to audio and then go again with the resampling cycle. So super cool effect on that one. And then we just have some third-party plugins that are very good to add to these glitch sounds that we've been looking at. So we've got one that I mentioned earlier, Tantra. It's goated, it's really, really good. You could just flick through some of these presets, and you can often end up with more atmospheric stuff or more even glitched out stuff, depending on the preset you go for. Some cool bits in there. The effect track is often overlooked for kind of modulation or glitch effects, but it's very, very good because you've actually got presets up here, modulation, and then we could go to this one, for example, and it starts combining the Soundtoys plugins to then make unique effects. There you go, you end up something like that, which sounds really, really cool. And just for perspective, what it sounds like inside a track. I could go into these slices here and just turn off a few of these. And then I could bounce this down to audio. I can then go back into here, turn these on, and you can really start to see how I can now just start combining all the techniques that we've been looking at throughout this video to really start creating unique stuff. And then I've just combined these ones together, did some simple processing on them just to glue it all together. So let's go and grab a sidechain, an EQ, transient shaper, which is what I call compression for dummies. And then play this with our beat. And it's really as simple as that. There's so much stuff and content out there that shows you all these amazing ways to create sounds with really impressive sequences and stuff like that. But if you can nail the basics and then compound that and recycle those effects with just even stock Ableton plugins, you can end up with really, really good results. So there we go, that's another video done. I hope you guys found that one useful. There's some super cool effects in there, and I hope you've seen that you don't need to invest in third-party plugins. There's a lot of great stuff within stock Ableton. Anyways, I'll leave you guys to it, and I will see you in the next video.